Hi, and welcome to another episode of Better Design. I'm JP here at Websites for Beginners, and I hope you find the first episode from last week interesting. If you had missed that, well, guess what? You can still see it and you can follow it here on the channel. I also quickly just want to show you that the website is slowly starting to blossom. It is spring here in South Africa. So hopefully within 2 or 3 months from now, everything that we've done will be ready and you can go and you will be able to access the courses and everything. But in the meantime, you can already go there. So let's just have a quick look at that so I can show you. It's of course Websites for Beginners. And then up here you have already learned, which is the core that we currently have. WordPress, you have a Suki feature that is coming up. And for design, you will see Better Design over here. If you click on it, it will take you to the archive page of all the Better Designs. And then over here, you can see the one from last week. Click on that and it will take you into a little bit more. There is a lot more jibbery jabbery and all kinds of mumbo jumbo and poppycock that's going on over here. But there is some interesting reading material here as well, with some links as well to external sources if you are interested in that. So have a look at that. I mean, it's something that's interesting and yeah, well, it's also good for the support here at Websites for Beginners. So let's get to episode 2 this week. A few things. Number one, you're going to see we're not going to do something extremely different from the previous episode. And in the post, you will see my approach to training is that you do things little by little. So this week, we're just going to add something slightly more and slowly build up every week. Number 2, I have literally over 1,000 of these layouts prepared, which I have like a catalog, and maybe I can sell it one day and make a fortune. So if you start thinking we're going to do one a week, it's going to take us 52 a year, right? 52 a year. And that means we can go on for ages doing this. So you will get one every week and we'll build it up. There's a lot of material, so we won't run out of any material. And I hope that you can find it useful and that maybe even if you've been long in the game and you come around, you're like, nah, that's a good idea. In Better Design, we focus on layout. Design can actually espouse a lot of terms like styling. It can also include images, but we are splitting those because in the future, we have courses coming up specifically focusing on images and on styling as well as common mistakes. But we're talking 2020, which is still Halloween, Black Friday, and Rise of Skywalker. And let's not forget Christmas and New Year away. All of that is very important, right? So let's dig into today's one. And we are looking at this one over here. Where am I now? Now, this is what we did last week. This one that we have over here, we had made this banner image with this main title and then subtitle over here, also heading or a subheading. We're gonna vary slightly on that in this tutorial and create this banner for the hero section. Again, we have a heading up here, a main heading with a slightly smaller font. You can see we're going to go a little bit smaller just to show you that big isn't always the necessity. And under that, we have a button, also referred to as a call to action. We're going to set it up again, very similar to what we did in the previous one. And then we're going to slap bang an image on it and create a very nice image here for this gym. You know, call to action, sign up, maybe here for view more, we can say class, schedule, things like that. That's what we will be doing for this one. So let's go into our page builders. Inside your page builder, add a new section or a block. And what I will do is I will delete one of the columns, as this one comes with 2 columns by default. And we go change the background color first. Again, same code that I used last time, 383838, which gives us a good grade to work with. And then I'm going to restrict my area again in the block over here, currently set at 100%. And this time I'm going to make it around 60%. We worked with 70% last time, make it quite small. We're squashing things a little bit just so that you can see that you don't always need to use all the space. That white space gives you far more impact than just cramming everything in there. Let's apply padding at the top and at the bottom. Currently it's at 75 pixels. I'm going to increase it to around 160. And we can set the same for the bottom. Right. And then we bring in, first of all, our header, which will be done with a text element. And I'm going to select it. Let's put it all on white. Paste my lorem ipsum text, and then we go change it to Yesava 1 again. Let's increase this to 40 pixels. And because this is a heading, I don't need that much line height, but I need some. So I'm going to reduce it about here 1.3. I think the rest is good. I'm going to leave the letter spacing. You can add a little bit if you want it to go a little bit more eligible, but I think even at 0, it's fine enough. It's the effect that we are after. Then center align everything here. Let's bring in our button next. And every page builder has a button. A button is our bread and butter. Bread and butter button. Alliteration. Let's get off the alliteration and let's change here class schedules. Let's put that in all caps. Class schedule. And then we style it. Going to apply some width here. I'm going to put this one 22 pixels, make it a little bit smaller for my width, and then for my height I'm going to make a small little button here, and then 12 pixels for this one. Cannot get it. Let's type in 12. Oops, 12. Right, have we got it? We got it, Bobby. And then we go to the icon, and I'm going to remove that icon. I just want to keep it like that. Let's put our typography on Lato. Later, we used it last time, and I still don't know which one it is. It Lato or Lato? I guess both can go. Let's increase the size a little bit to 14, and the weight. You see, Lato's got a very, very thin standard weight as well, so I'm going to throw that one on bold, and then we leave the rest. Line height is fine. Letter spacing, let's reduce it a little bit. No, I think that is quite squashed. Let's go for 2. 3 even is good. And then for the color styling, I want to keep it uniformly. Background, I'll put it on white. And then for the text, I'm going to give the same as the background, which is 38, 38, 38. And border shadow, we don't need that. But when we hover, we do want it to look a little bit different. So what I'm going to do for the hover is for the background, I'll make that transparent. And then for the text, I'll leave it on white. And then I'm going to add a border, and I'll put it on white as well. There you go. Good, good. Let's see. It works great. And the only thing that we need to do now, of course, is add space there because that is way too squashed. And we grab our spacer, and let's say we put this at 25. Good. And there you go. We have created a very good banner here now with a call to action with this button over here. People can go to the class schedule for that. Of course, we have to go look at our mobile responsiveness. So on our tablet, I think our text is a little bit too big, but let's start with the padding first. I want to add some padding. We can give it a little bit here at the top, 100, and about 100 at the bottom as well. I'm going to reduce the font from 40 just to 30, break one more line out of there. And then I think the button, I will leave that, but I think it's not on bold. So I'm just going to drop it back on bold or black. I think I'm going to put it on black. I need a little bit more and put it on 14. I think so. That looks better. The rest is good. I think so. And then we go for mobile. Mobile does not look good, my dear friend. Let's change it. And I'm going to squash it down to 28. Let's make it 27. So we break one more line because that 28, where was I? Why now? That one little word over there is a little bit weird. So let's put it on 27. Again, we apply padding at the top. And I'm going to apply more padding here, 150, because you're on a cell phone. You want to have a little bit more filler off the screen. And at the bottom, not that much. I'm going to just put it at 120. Button is fine. I think it looks fine. So let's have a look. Cycle through that. And it looks fine. I think that is fine. Now, one of the things that I often get when I'm doing these tutorials is, how do you get to display the phones? And I'll show you very shortly how I'm going to do that with the phone and also with the tablet view. And that is done in a browser that runs on Chrome called Blisk. There is a link in the description below. So if you want to go check it out, check in the description below. There's good and there's bad. The good thing is you can try it out for free, and then after your trial is over, you will have 30 minutes a day. So if you just want to do your testing daily, you can use that 30 minutes per day to test whether it will perform well on a phone or a tablet. The problem is that if you want more, you'll have to go premium, but it's not that bad. If you use this kind of browser all the time, then it's not a bad deal. So check out the link in the description below. And just another add-on, all the extensions that you use in Chrome will also work on this browser. Good, so talking about this browser, which is Blisk, let's go to the front end and have a look at how our hero banner will perform on various devices. I'm just going to enable developer mode, and then we go to my favorites, Apple iPhone X, to see if it's horrendous or not. It is not, my dear friend. Looks good. There's my button, and then we also check over here on the Apple iPad. Apple iPad is a gooder. Good. Right, let's go put in an image for this. So I'm going back into my builder, and then we go to our block and section and add an image to the background. Grab our hard-working people over there. And I'm going to just slightly move this up. Now, by default, this Brizy Page Builder brings an overlay, but in most cases, there won't be overlay, so it will look like this. And you're going to run into the same thing that I talked about last week, and that is you cannot clearly see the words. Last week, we fixed it by putting the heading title into black. If I do it this week, you will see still. In fact, this is even less contrasted than the previous one. So let's put it back on white. The problem is why it's not going to work on an image like this is because the image has a lot of high contrasts in it. Here you have black pants over here and you have a white background. So you're going to have this problem. The way that we balance it out, there's a few ways, but in this tutorial, the way that we're going to balance it out is by applying that overlay onto the image. Now, if you're using the WordPress editor, you're out of luck. The cover image can do a little bit of that, but if you want to do an extensive and big call to action hero banner like this, the WordPress editor by default is very limited still, but maybe you can get some, Gutenberg add-on blocks that's going to work for you. But any other page builder out there in the market can do what we're going to do next and apply the overlay. So let's go and apply overlay. And I'm going to just increase it again, and I'll use the 38, 38, 38 again. And immediately, it looks good. You can see the image, you know the context, you have your header over here, and you have it. Excellent, right? Okay, so I hope that was useful. See you again in next week's episode number 3. Make sure you subscribe, and thank you for sticking around until the end.